Welcome to the I-80 Club from the road from Social Capital in Oklahoma City as Nebraska finally gets it done. They win their first ever NCAA tournament game. Josh Peterson, Caleb Henry, Jack Mitchell, Mike Schaefer. This is the I-80 Club. We are right now on the I-80 Club YouTube channel and the 1620 The Zone YouTube channel.
Hello.
Broadcast in association with our friends at 1620 The Zone.
1620 The Zone.
What a great radio station.
I love that station.
It's the finest radio station in all the land. Boys, they did it. They won in like the most no frills, easy peasy. Is it really going to be this chill way
I can't
possible?
believe Mike was so worried all week. I was like, Mike, calm down. It's gonna be fine. And I'm, telling him up here before he's shaking, and I'm like, Mike, that'll be fine.
What did your head and your heart say before the game, Jack? Can we go back to that? Do we have a
I think he said 8-point win.
That was the average.
He audibly scoffed.
Yeah, when he said 21.
You're right.
Yeah, I said 21, and your eyes were like this.
Yeah.
Jack, 8 points? It was beyond that at halftime. At halftime, you tweeted out.
Bearcase scored more than 8 points.
You tweeted out, get it to 20.
Yeah, get it to 20. I was worried. I needed when I say on a cushion, I needed eight times
4.
Yeah,
it was about that.
I needed 8-ply toilet paper.
Yeah,
in that scenario. For
gross.
Cushion.
That's disgusting.
No, it's just for.
It's a lot of ply.
A lot of ply.
A lot of ply. I needed a lot of ply.
Wow.
The softest cushion in the land.
Well, that's what the game was for you. We got a lot to talk about. This is the I-80 Club Roadshow, Dancing with the Skurs, and it is brought to you by our great friends right next to us, actually, at Husker Power Products.
Let's go!
Information, you can go to huskerpowerproducts.com. They are the reason that we are here in Oklahoma City. They are the reason that we were able to make this happen, and we now get to paint the town red for the next 2 days and not have to have a depressing set postgame show. Thank God.
You could say they power us like an engine.
Like an engine does.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Yes. Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Husker Power Products. Let's go. Yeah, I love it. We got Joe right there. We got John right there.
Literally right next to us.
It's nice to have our sponsors here. We got fancy. We have mugs here right here all the way from Scotts Bluff.
Let's go.
Scotts Bluff. That's not Western Nebraska. That's Central Nebraska.
They can listen on the new 97.7 The Zone out there.
We love Western Nebraska.
We do love Western Nebraska.
And Central Nebraska.
You know who else we love, guys? Our great community partners. We have
all of them.
Is it a dozen of them now? iSurgical Associates, Fleet Feet Lincoln, 5-Star Bass Solutions, Lincoln Symphony Orchestra, Look Architectural Coatings, Pinnacle Bank Arena, Sandstone Wealth Management, The Still, Sutton, Linder, and Sutton. Visit Lincoln and 1620 The Zone. So not a dozen, not a baker's dozen. What is one prior to a dozen? That's how many great community sponsors we have.
One prior to a dozen? 11?
Yeah, 11. I didn't know if it had a name, like a special, almost a dozen.
It's a butcher's dozen.
Near a dozen?
A butcher's dozen. I like that. A butcher's
we're going
dozen.
to give you 11 patties if you ask for 12.
And we are here live
That actually happens.
at Social Capital. They could be our 12th community partner. Very much appreciate the folks at Social Capital.
Very specific to an instance in your life that you probably still think about.
I assume everyone does it.
Feels
Probably
more like
does.
a Caleb's dozen. You order a dozen donuts, you're only getting 11 back.
You can reach
One
out
for
to
me, 11 for you.
You can reach out to us in a couple of different ways. So for those watching this on the 1620 The Zone YouTube channel, this is the I-80 Club. We're going to be reading comments mainly inside of the Discord server, which is where our Patreon subscribers are hanging out today. So we'll be doing that. Also, you can drop us a super chat as well on YouTube, and we will read that super chat there as we now recap Nebraska's first ever NCAA tournament win. They run Troy off the floor 76-47, including a bevy of points. Did they get a kill shot at the end of the first half? Because that was when it was like,
no, they didn't in the first half.
Okay, because it got to 9-0 with 2 Price Sanford threes, which is something that we talked about on the show this morning.
The price is right.
Once he got going, everything changed. Everything changed because I don't even want to say that they came out tight. They just weren't making shots. They were playing with pretty good defense.
Shots they
had really good shots, and then Price knocked in a couple, and suddenly I'm looking at the stats monitor, and it's like, wow, he already has 12 points. Wow, he already has 15 points. Wow, he already has 17 points. He was on fire, and that completely changed the tenor of the game.
I felt like there was a moment where Jamarcus crossed over a guy at the top of the key.
That was another
three.
Yes.
And then at that point, Nebraska just controlled the game.
That was right after Price had hit a couple, and then Jamarcus.
And it was like, okay, somebody else just made one. The lid is fully off. Here we go. They're going to fill it up.
So it was 15-12, and then it was a 20-4 run for Nebraska.
Incredible.
And it ends up being a 29-8 run, and it just blew it all out. And then you get to the second half, and you're like, okay, now it's up to 20 points. Now it's 30 points. Holy crap, what is happening?
Yeah,
I sent a text to some friends at halftime. I was like, they're going to win by 30. Troy is not.
Wrong.
You could. Yeah, I was off. I was off by a whole
Embarrassing.
point.
Somebody make sure and screenshot that.
I think they might. They might be like, you should feel bad. You were off by a whole point, Unlike that prediction where someone's like, oh, they're only going to win by 3.
It was an average of my head and heart. In retrospect, that's not an accurate way to predict.
But you could see early on. So obviously they hit some threes early in that game. But you could just see that Troy did not have the ability to offensively to score.
Yep.
You could just tell. Like
their
they
shots,
were never comfortable.
Yeah, even the ones that they made, it was like, okay, that's probably not going to happen.
The guy making a one-handed three-pointer falling away at the end of the shot.
The exact one that I was thinking of. Like, that's not going to continue.
There's 22% three-point shooter went 4 for 5 to start the game from outside, and you're like, okay, this is.
And they still had a 3 or 4 point lead at the most,
right.
It was just. It wasn't even. It was that for sure, but. A few minutes in, any real trepidation that I had that was not just, emotional and jinxes and history and all of that. The basketball trepidation from hearing that some of the experts say, well, this is maybe a good matchup for Nebraska. And to Mike's credit and Caleb's credit, they were calling, BS on that.
I never understood that.
Nebraska was dominating the paint and the board.
It took 5 minutes to realize that, I should have.
They didn't have a rim protector.
It is a different level of play. It's a different level of opponent.
I think we spend, and we're all guilty of this. So they go 6-6 in their last 12 leading up to the tournament. And you forget that in that stretch, they play Purdue twice. They play Iowa twice. They play Michigan. They play Illinois. They play UCLA. Those are all tournament teams. And it's all Big Ten teams. So you take them outside of that context and you give them a smaller, scrappy Sun Belt team. Nebraska was so well-versed to be able to – they didn't have to bang around inside against bigs. There was no rim protector that was going to deter them from movement. Troy went to a zone against a team that was shooting threes on them. So,
that was interesting.
I mean, it just felt like Troy kind of knew early in that game that they were sort of outmatched and outgunned.
We should have a Troy strategic moment of the day because that was one. I liked when they put the 2 Ed Sheeran guys on rank. And they're like, let's double him with the 2 smallest guys on the court.
One of those guys did a pretty good job of anytime the ball went below Rink's waist, he was just like diving at his hip to knock it loose.
I was like, I know, but I was like, keep doing that because you know how you're letting Bryce Sanford have the most open threes he's seen since Christmas?
Was he open every single time?
Dude, what do you think it was like for him?
It was incredible.
It's like you lived your life in a telephone booth and then you move into a mansion.
They never figured out that Nebraska was more than happy to get the ball to the wing, let them double on the wing, and then just drop the pass into Price in the corner.
Yeah.
Just easy money.
He made that first one. I was like, if they let him have many more of those, they're screwed.
And that's what kept happening.
Spoiler, they let him have many
There was one, was it, because we talked about it in the moment, was it when Frager suddenly drew 2 defenders? And like I say, Price is right there. Sure enough, gets it right back to him, bang, another 3. I just couldn't believe their rotation was strange at times. Whereas over the last month, to go back to what Shafe said a few minutes ago, where every team was putting every single defensive game plan around him, it's like they hadn't watched film of Nebraska and they were surprised. Wait, this guy can make threes?
Did you hear that their coach called?
He called it on 16-20. Yeah, he called him Sorensen. He was like, yeah, we got to take care of Sorensen. And Matt was like, I'm not even going to correct him about it because that would be really
It was on
McMaster's show.
I just saw it tweeted.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So, to be fair, Sorensen did not have a good day.
I think Jake Sorensen's having a great day.
Jake Sorensen's having a great day.
I saw him before the game, and I knew he was going to have an off day. I could tell just talking to him.
That's where all of the scout went.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
The basketball right now, just to interject here, is terrific.
I haven't looking at another score all day.
It is
I keep forgetting
terrific.
this is the actual
You can't
NCAA
even check.
There's
I
other
guarantee
things
your
happening.
eyes aren't even telling you that Siena is beating Duke right now.
Wait, what?
35-26, Siena
Vanderbilt's
leads.
down by 6-2.
Yeah.
2-2. That would be
I just
hilarious.
McNeil State is up 8. It's not 6. It's the 8 that you wanted Nebraska to win.
Guys, I just remembered today as the NCAA.
So
This just happened, but it was already the best day of the year.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, did you notice the moment in the arena where they apparently put up the TCU Ohio State game? And I didn't know because I was down typing something, and suddenly I heard this, whoa, and I was like, wait, what happened? And Caleb goes, oh, they're showing the game again, and it was like one of the threes late that ended up time. TCU won, by the way, over Ohio State.
Was it halftime where they put up the 3 games? You almost got a full quad box.
I don't know.
But the Nebraska game was the other game.
I was behind 8,000 people in the men's room line.
Oh, worry.
There was a lot of discussion about the way that the Pickcom Center's men's room with 4 urinals and then 5 stalls was basically what they.
No troughs, huh?
I will say this, because we were banished to the highest rafters of the arena.
You guys were peeing off the roof.
No, we had our own personal bathroom.
Yeah, it was like personal bathroom.
It was great.
It was fine. I liked it.
Yeah, it was quite nice up there.
I'll tell you what else.
The picture was amazing.
Yeah, it was good, high quality, right over everyone. Mm-hmm. It was like a drone shot.
Yeah, sell that and use it to buy better press passes.
Probably. What I really liked was today, Braden Frager. The number of times I was talking with Josh about Frager, I was like, okay, he's not making threes. He was like 0 for 5, then 0 for 6, but he was doing every hustle play on both ends of the floor. Today. And then when he made, the dunk was great. I know, and you called that dunk. You were like, that's going to be the part that everyone goes bonkers for.
They had a bigger lead than I thought when it happened.
But that was what led to the 3, right? Wasn't it dunk 3, 25-point lead, and after that, I think it was time to celebrate for good.
But when he hit the 3, I was like, thank you. It felt like he needed that because he was playing so well. Yeah. The one thing he hadn't had was making one of those open
He ended up with 2, right?
Yeah,
he
ended
another
up making
corner.
2. Yeah. But both ends of the floor, he was distributing the ball well. He was playing with patience. He was slowing things down. And then defensively, he was getting his hand in there. It was really well done. Everything he was doing, except 0 for 5 from deep. Think about how much worse that game could have gotten if he's hitting a couple of those earlier.
Yeah. He's been a player that we've been talking about a lot lately, and everybody has their own theories and critiques of him about how he does and doesn't play. I thought that was a great example of what he is able to do and how he is able to affect a basketball game, even when the 3-point shot isn't falling.
Also, just so we don't get too far down this road without mentioning this, Frager walks off the court arm in arm with Fred Hoiberg as they're celebrating as the team's walking off. I'm pretty sure he's coming back, folks. I don't think there's just Hoiberg-Frager schism that that people really have tried to build.
I think he meant schism.
Schism.
He's rapping like it. He's a rapper in 2002 when he says that.
Schism timbers?
Schism. I don't care. It doesn't exist.
By the way,
we got a friend joining.
We got a crow over here or something like that. By the way, this is a special edition of the Nebrasketball Hour. We do know that our friend Kurt's hanging out down here as well. We've already seen him a couple of different times. Yeah, he's having a good time.
He was going up talking to fan security early to just let them know who he is if they want to remove him.
I've already hit my quota this year, so I've got a free pass.
There was a man in a full mast shirt twerking on the big screen in the arena. It was.
Do we know if it was Kurt?
It was not Kurt.
Well, either way, we want to give
the full mast section though did get shown several times.
Yeah. We want to give a big shout out as always to Nebraska Realty. I'll get it in eventually. I'm only working with radio professionals. But Nebraska Realty are the title sponsor, Caleb, of the Nebrasketball Hour all season long. We've really appreciated them, and we appreciate everybody who has supported us as we've made our way down here and apparently seeing other teams get upset. And now, isn't the early tip-off time just the best thing in the world?
It's so good.
I love it if Nebraska wins. I hate it. It's either the best possible situation or the absolute nightmare situation.
I said it to Caleb as we walked outside. I was like, man, this is great. We have the whole rest of the day. We're going to pod. Everyone's going to be in a tremendous mood. They don't play tomorrow. You get the day off. Now, the most important thing is, A, what's happening with Vandy? and if they're going to win or if McNeese State is going to win. And then B, what time are we back at the arena on Saturday?
Yep.
Those are the questions that I have right now about Nebraska.
Did you get a chart of how many when the night game times have come out over the years?
No, I have not.
I'll
do a little research.
Nice. I checked around on this because I didn't want to be.
He actually did some research.
I didn't want to be like put in a lurch by the University of Nebraska jumping the gun and sending out a press release that wasn't accurate. So
people make mistakes sometimes.
It sounds like the normal tip time release is in the last game of the night.
Ooh.
So we will know very late this evening when Nebraska will play on Saturday.
They should have a count. They should have a separate count.
There's like a little clock in the corner of the screen.
Yeah. Instead of showing the teams that are waiting to find out where they're going, they show the networks.
Ooh,
what time are we going to be on the air?
When they go to halftime of the last game, send it back to the studio, and it's Charles Barkley. Here's your tip time.
Right. I have an analyst there.
I love this idea. Paramount Plus has a tip time reveal show.
I would watch the hell out of that.
Actually, Jack would just call it the tip reveal.
I keep remembering that tomorrow is
Just
Friday, and you have to still do another radio show tomorrow morning from 6 to 9.
Fine. Please do not let me forget.
Okay.
I have to do it.
Where do you have to do that from? From the house?
I said I would do it anyway. I'll find a way.
Okay.
I think I might get a pass.
Okay.
I think High Point is about to win a challenge. They're down 1. There's 54 seconds left.
Okay.
In this, Siena is now up 43-32 on Duke.
What?
Nebraska is
McNeese State leads 24-16.
Nebraska nearly the lone representative in the Big Ten left in this
already.
Guys.
Already. Who has the ball here? Shafe High Point does?
High Point got it back after a successful challenge in which Wisconsin lost it on an inbound.
Oh, and now they
kick violation or a foul.
Wow.
I can't tell which.
Incredible.
Boy.
Incredible. Oh, hey, we got a super chat. Shout out to Art in LA. Thank you for this show. And he adds, Jack is great.
Jack
Art's
is great.
Art's an old radio hero of mine.
Oh, really?
He lives in Los Angeles. Art, glad you're doing well. Great to hear from you. Love you, man. What a day.
Shout out to Art. Plus, Jack, I just realized you're like super close to being in the shade. So you're about to be feeling like even better right now. You want to be in the sun?
Get this vitamin injected in my veins. I have complained for 3 months about the lack of sun.
Okay.
And the cold. I am soaking every bit of this in. I'm storing the vitamin D right now for next winter.
All right. Well, that's good. That's good. Wow. What's going on there, Shafe, now?
We've got Wisconsin with the ball up 1. They have to go before the shot clock expires. Miss layup. High Point rebound. 14, 16, High Point run out. Layup. High Point wins.
Okay.
No conference cheering here.
Oh, my gosh. And
if there's one thing that I appreciate that Nebraska fans have collectively agreed upon, it's that you don't root for anyone in your own conference. Whereas you hear from the Creighton people who just love talking about the Big East and their tournament.
They do love their units.
And how great UConn and St. John's are and all these other things. And over here, people booed when Ohio State was put up on the screen today.
Yeah.
Like that tells me everything I need to know about the psyche of Nebraska fans when it comes to college cheer.
That guy's jersey number is 99.
Whoa, what?
That's a second
game-winning basket for 99.
This is
potentially
the 90s decade, not decade, but 90s jerseys because they brought in the coach's kid for today.
Still for Nebraska?
The cross.
They played at Troy.
Yeah, Troy. He had his.
Got Cross's kid. I think Seth is his name.
Yeah.
Seth Cross.
Yeah.
He was 95 for.
I'll be honest, I didn't see that. I was making graphics.
It would be hard for you to see the numbers from where you were at.
That's true.
Seth, if you're watching, hi.
Yeah, I had to kind of just go off of their faces, which I'm used to seeing there on the floor. If you're just joining,
were you watching the jumbo screen more than you were watching the action?
No, it wasn't that bad.
He's a Cowboys fan.
We could see. Okay, settle down. We could see. We had a great view of everything. It was
As a matter of fact, Lincoln Arneal climbed up to our seats.
I was worried he was going to fall
after the game.
He did. He came up and he went in for the handshake. I went in for the fist bump. And then I changed to the handshake and he changed to the fist bump. And then we finally fist bumped. And he punched my finger really hard.
Wisconsin drive.
Block shot.
Oh
High Point ball. They're going to get fouled.
1.6.
Oh, my gosh.
Wisconsin.
Apparently, I get everything in one day. That's how I get
this
paid.
Is why you didn't want to be a 5.
Orgy of joy? Is that what you
that's
called it?
That's what the term has been. It's called a lump sum payment.
This is the closest that Creighton has to being in the NCAA tournament. Is their coach in waiting was from High Point and coached several of these guys. So this is
Ewing theory. He
Yeah, it
leaves
could
and they win an NCAA
they
tournament
will
game.
win without Huss.
Ooh, interesting.
Has anyone heard Kent's call yet?
No, I saw it written out.
I've read the transcript.
Yeah,
I've not
that's
heard the
awesome.
call.
Yeah.
That's how I like to listen to radio.
Usually, the transcript is the way to go.
Oh yeah. Let's go. Basketball hour, guys. What's up? We did it. What are you feeling? We did it.
I like how we called it the Nebrasketball hour, guys. That's our
That's our show.
That's our show. We're the Nebrasketball hour.
We did it.
Yeah.
How we feeling?
Yeah.
Just let them go with it.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's go.
Well, hey, as we have a nice little pause here, this is a great time for us to thank all of our I-80 road crew members who helped us get here, including Lincoln Arneal, who bought $100 hoodies and are unable to wear them today because it is almost 100 degrees.
We ought to,
We'll get shirts. So thanks to everybody, a part of our I-80
You guys
Club
should have
road
Bill
crew.
Belichick those hoodies.
Cut the
That's what I
sleeves off.
said. Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Well, Jack and I forgot to buy them for ourselves. We also would like to
Same.
thank the title sponsor, Husker Power Products, for helping us get here. The I-80 Club Roadshow, Dancing with the Skurs, brought to you by Husker Power Products. They have been instrumental at making sure that we are able to come here and hang out and watch the game, and we'll be here for another couple of days. Right now, we're awaiting the result between High Point and Wisconsin. Just a few seconds
High
left.
Point missed a free throw, 2.1 seconds left. Wisconsin called a timeout. They will inbounds basically 4/5 of the court to go, down one.
Interesting.
We might have a March Madness moment right off the bat.
Already, man. That's crazy. Jack, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say, I wanted to just make sure if we had any people involved in manufacturing, small, big, ag, whatever, Husker Power Products, that's your key right there. If you don't know about them, you probably do because they've been around since 1981. 1981, John? Is that when it started? 1981? Is that the right year you started in Ainsworth?
Wow. That's awesome.
1981.
Nice memory, Jack.
All by himself. He grew that thing huge.
I'm good
Out
with
in
Wisconsin
Hastings
losing.
now, and Husker Power
All
Products
double-digit seeds
doing a
except
great
Nebraska.
doing a great job.
Jack's trying to finish the read.
Doing a sponsor read, Schaefer, for our title sponsor.
Hey, at least the sponsors won't know.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Oopsies. By the way, we just got a $20 super from Jabs. Shout out to Josh Jabs.
Yeah.
He says, "Have a beer on me, fellas. Nebrasketball did it. GBMFR."
Hey, all right.
Wow.
All right. We'll tell you where they're going, John.
Shout out to Jabs. Let's
Yes.
go, baby.
Vanderbilt has closed the gap. It's 26-23 over there with McNeese. Vanderbilt winner gets Nebraska, who famously won their first tournament game
Who
today.
are we rooting for? Shafe? Who
I
are we
don't
rooting
think
for?
I like both matchups for Nebraska. I would prefer McNeese, as I think they're worse.
My daughter.
But look, I'm good either way.
All right.
I am good either way.
What's
I
up,
like
Jack?
it for
1.8.
Nebraska.
Oh, there's no way they can do this.
They'd have to.
Oh, God.
Nope. Wow.
Oh, tough to see for Wisconsin. Boy, you hate
So wait, is that two Big Ten teams are already
That's what it
done?
was like.
Two Big Ten teams.
You got it. Question.
The conference is 1 and 2 in the NCAA tournament.
And that
so far.
one is
Nebraska.
Not everyone can just be a red Big Ten team and win in the tournament.
sometimes you
Remember
win
when
by
it was like-
29 points.
Remember when everyone was like, "Oh, if Nebraska would play Wisconsin now, watch out. That's
Uh-oh.
a different team."
Well,
Yeah,
They might only win by 28, is what you're saying?
yeah, they won't get to play them in the NCAA tournament because famously
Listen.
Wisconsin just lost.
Listen, when
It's a
the
high
rest of the
point.
Big Ten, Illinois, Purdue, Nebraska, and Michigan in the Final Four, who do you guys like when we're in Indiana?
It's going to be hard to pick against Nebraska. By the way, my wife in the Discord writes, because this is the best day of your life, but it's also the best day, she points out, of Husker for MU's life. Is this the best day of your
Oh, my
life? Be
gosh.
honest. Yeah, now his hated Badgers go down.
Yes.
Boy,
He's
Yeah.
having a good day.
yeah. And as we leave you now, think about what it must be like for Husker MU. It finally happened.
I love this bit that you do, this meme. I always wonder how many people get it.
It's fine.
No, and I like, but I again,
It's for
I
me,
like it. I
mainly.
think it's really, really funny. I
Those
think
are
it's really,
the
really
best
funny.
bits are just like when you do the bit and it's for you.
Yeah,
For sure.
The internal bits.
By the way, so Nebraska wins 76-47. Have we talked enough yet? I don't think we've even really mentioned Reek Mast and how. What did you say at one point? Like you looked up, you're like, "Ooh,
Triple double watch.
Yeah,
Triple-double
Shawnee
watch.
said she was like, he might get a triple double. I was
He-
like, seriously?
I thought he had a really nice day. He had a couple of those floaters inside too that he was able. His footwork looked good. He had an early turnover And then after that, I thought he really settled down and had a nice performance.
The offensive rebounding early on, was one of those things where you were looking at, okay, can you set the tone?
So different rebound, and I know it was about the opponent very much so, but you looked at that matchup and you didn't say, okay, Nebraska has a huge size advantage. They might have had a little bit of one, but it looked like they did.
Yeah,
which is weird. Those are words I didn't ever think I'd be saying.
Yeah.
Well, and so the thing about Mass too, like so many of those assists were just he found Sanford, hit Sanford makes the three, like you get rewarded for it. I mean, he had a great game. It was one of those I also looked up and it's like, 9.6 rebounds, 7 assists with just a excellent
super
game.
Chill performance.
When it's you got the very hot Sanford performance. You have Frager chipping in. I think he had 13 or somewhere in there. You had you have all of this kind of going on, and Mass was just steady. Yeah, it's what you wanted from
him. He really was.
And I thought Berkay was really good too. The minutes that he was playing, giving you the toughness inside with the defense and the rebounding. Right over there. Excellent.
What
do you need help? This is sad.
I don't know what he decided we're doing, but we're doing this.
I sometimes feel like, what on earth is happening? By the way, we have a super chat from Troy. By the way, there's a Sprite over there, Caleb.
I got it.
Calm down, Josh. It's a Sprite. What's it going to hurt if it's spilled?
I don't know. The equipment?
I want to shout out our sponsors.
Yeah. Well, this is a great time to shout out our sponsors. We have many community partners. You can see almost all of them on the sign right now. I will read them to you if you can't. Eye Surgical Associates, Fleet Feet Lincoln, 5-Star Bath Solutions, Lincoln Symphony Orchestra, Look Architectural Coatings, who made this for us, by the way.
I want everybody to see their great work.
Pinnacle Bank Arena, Sandstone Wealth Management, The Still, Sutton, Linder, and Sutton, Visit Lincoln, and our friends at 1620 The Zone, which is another spot that we are airing this show right now. The Symphony, surprisingly, Jack didn't go to the Symphony today. He decided to go to the basketball game. I know. It really
wanted to go to a basketball game?
Yeah, I figured they might have a matinee show that he would want to. We saw Don earlier.
Did you talk to him?
I did, yeah. Okay. We said hi. He had a great-looking hat on. By the way, 2 supers that I need to read real fast. Maybe actually more supers. Yep, we have more supers coming in. Troy writes, thanks for the butt whooping. Donating to the Oklahoma bourbon bottle this evening.
Yeah, we got the best bourbon in Oklahoma. That's what I hear.
All right, can we help Jack roll up the?
They say it's the Southern Kentucky.
What's wild
is child.
I don't think he's even had anything to drink today.
Listen, I had one beer at
about. I'm giving up
at like 10 o'clock, and I had a Coke Zero.
Okay,
so I'm buzzing a little.
All right, we also got a $20 super.
You're welcome, Stibbs. They didn't have time.
We got a $20 super sticker from Frank. This shirt's from Frank.
Thanks,
Shout out to you, Frank. And wow, $20. I'm gonna put this one on the screen, and then we'll put the $20 back up there for a little longer. Dramatic Nickel 5 writes, can we have a joyful Growing Kick Chronicles in honor of Berkay? The actual Growing Kick Chronicles.
Can you believe it? There were 2. I got it.
I'm getting so triggered.
Can you just trust me?
No.
A second when we do this business together. Can you trust me to do a damn thing?
No, look at the sign.
It's fine. I will get it done. It was interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep
It's like watching someone struggle to fold clothes at a clothing store.
Yeah.
And they want to put it back, and they put their shirt back on the pile, and it's like folded in a triangle.
We had multiple groin kicks, and
my daughter trying to tie her shoes.
Yeah.
Keena writes, Nebraska didn't fold, and neither can Jack. I'm going to have to reach out to Mike LaFave at Look Architectural Coatings and say, hey, that was a really cool sign. Could I get another one?
It's very durable, Michael. Great job again. And I'm sorry that Josh didn't want you to see it.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
This is not the mood that I expected from Jack today.
Defiance?
Yeah, I thought he would.
Petulance.
I rule the world now. Look at me. My team won it.
It might be because he's little sleep. He's got another radio show to come in 2 hours.
He doesn't smell as bad as I thought he would.
He famously didn't take a shower.
That's wrong.
Many are saying
he didn't.
We haven't even DoorDashed to the Axe body spray for him.
Yeah, we have lots of things to do. By the way, Mickey writes, we're getting 1999 levels of video quality. Look, that's what happens when you're doing a show from the road. Sometimes the video quality is not always going to be the best. The graphics look really good.
Well, you're probably also going to get 1999 levels of joy and drinking from some of us, too.
Yeah.
So
how old were you in 1999?
22.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. You're going to be like, so let's just see what Johnny does tonight. And that's
it.
Yeah, he's yeah. He is drinking water, though. He's staying very hydrated. So that's good. All right, so we've talked about Rink. We've talked about Freger. Obviously, we talked about Price. Player, I don't think we've said the name of today is Sam Hoiberg, a really quiet,
Most notable moment for me was a very odd pass that went off of Sanford's leg, and everyone was like, that was bizarre.
Because that was early in the second half, and everyone's just like, okay, is this going to be stupid, or is this going to be nice
second
and
possession
comfortable?
of the second half, maybe?
Because they didn't score for like their first three or
the
four.
first 3 possessions were a missed shot and 2 turnovers.
And then they went on the run. But yeah, it's odd. After everyone was celebrating the assist to turnover ratio, he's just had a few extra that you wouldn't want to see over the course of the last few weeks.
He actually sat a lot in the first half.
Good job. When they went on the run.
Boy,
yay! Good job. Everybody clap. Everybody give Jack a round of applause.
Yeah, good job, Jack.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jack. It's terrible. Like I said, great product.
Shout out.
I'm going to buy a bunch of these.
Shout out to LaFave. We got another super. Shout out to Tammy. 1999 super. Celebrate for all of us cheering them on for Nebraska. Wow.
Thanks,
shout out to you, Tammy.
We ought to make a highlight video of this. Prince's 1999 in the background.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it with you yesterday. It's nice when you make things 99. It's a nice little thing that you can do for people. It makes them think that it's cheaper.
Were you able to sell your session 2 tickets?
In the bathroom at halftime. I decided.
I don't know what deals did you make.
I decided I put a special one-time only deal. Okay, tonight for Houston fans. Okay. I lowered the prices, and not a lot of people know this. I dropped it from $299 to $199.
Oh, wow.
This
Interesting.
is a special time. It's a flash sale.
Oh, wow.
It's a doorbuster.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. It's probably gone.
What do you think, Shafe? Do you think he's going to be able to make this happen?
Definitely. Someone will look at the $11 tickets in the same section and think I'd rather pay $199.
Sounds like someone who's never negotiated the
What
contract.
Jack does not understand is that the $199 is what he gets, not the fees that they will add on top of it. So the price that the people will actually look at is not going to be $199. It'll be like $230.
So the price is wrong?
The price is not right for Jack Mitchell.
How much do you think if he changed the price to right now, it would get sold within 10 minutes?
I think I sold mine for $35.
Did you sell it quickly?
He could maybe get $40 for his.
Okay.
I just don't think there's anybody here for Houston and A&M and St. Mary's and Idaho.
We talked about it on our walk over.
I saw 2 A&M fans.
I don't think I've seen any A&M fans. I finally saw Vandy people after the game.
Sure.
We saw a couple of Houston fans in jerseys.
Yeah. Yes.
With
early.
a basketball, like they were heading to the park.
Yeah, they were dribbling.
It is wild.
There is a park on the other side of this that
they were here to play.
Yeah. Ball knows no
we
sleep.
should have challenged someone. I-80. We had Lincoln. Our 5 versus someone else's 5. That could have been a game.
Yeah. How do you think that would have gone?
We would have gotten smoked.
Yeah, probably.
Caleb played basketball. He sent me some press clippings of his time.
Yeah, I did okay. Vaznet covered my games back in the day.
Those were the press clippings he sent me.
That's awesome. That is awesome. By the way, we have not talked about the fact that Jack gets into the arena. And no, there's not a Troy fan by him or 2 here. No, it's the whole section. I laughed so hard.
It was the most obvious thing ever.
That's how we found you. We saw that. We're like, oh, we got to look near the
your tweet.
And we had 2 sitting on the other side of us that got separated. We were like the Nebraska Island in that massive.
And you'll be in the same spot in 2 days, right?
Yeah, somehow we were the only people in the entire stadium surrounded by Troy.
Seriously, the only time you heard a noise when Troy did something good was from that bottom right corner. Otherwise, it was just all cheering. And speaking of, I don't want to open up any tweets right now because I don't want to slow down the internet. There was some stuff that I saw today from a local reporter who said this is like a Thunder playoff game. Like that was the kind of atmosphere that he was covering today.
Constant noise.
Yeah.
What's the sound in there?
Yeah.
The beginning was
it was
loud.
Nuts.
It was louder than it's been in Pinnacle Bank Arena this year, I think, at the beginning of that game.
There were Vanderbilt people in the elevator telling us they're like, this is nothing like they've ever seen.
Every time Caleb and I were walking around, it was every conversation. And I didn't want people to look and see where I was from. So
we were quiet.
Yeah. And so it was like, man, this is just all Husker fans. Like that's all. I've never seen anything like it.
I don't think this town is ready.
They weren't
for the
this
next
morning.
48 hours.
They weren't for the game and the noise that followed. They are not going to be ready for the next 3 days.
How many Nebraska fans in Lincoln are saying, wait,
I got to go down.
maybe I can get there?
That's what we were talking about. Like, if they win this game, I think there's a few more thousand
Come
people
on down.
that are like, hey, tip-off time's at 4 o'clock on Saturday, 6-hour drive, get up early. Saturday, we're coming down.
I'm a ticket broker. I could probably help you.
That's why it's good that you have your third session already.
I kept being really careful I didn't accidentally sell that. I was so that
That,
know
I
that
believe.
doesn't sound like something I would do, but I was a little worried I was going to.
I thought that you were accidentally going to sell your tickets too. I was a little afraid yesterday when we were on the road and Jack kept like having issues with his internet. I was worried that he was going to be like, "Oh no, I don't have the game tickets for tomorrow."
I believe it.
Yeah, I was
before all the sport poll.
I was a little scared. Oh yeah, here we go. Thank you to Travis in our Discord server. So it was Joe Mazzato. He said, "Seriously, this almost has the feel of a Thunder playoff game." That's pretty crazy.
Wow.
And the atmosphere will be, in theory, even better to
I
start
think
on Saturday.
because some of it is a little muted because it wasn't a particularly close game, even though some people thought they might only win by 8 and they won by 29. And so it's like, add in the fact that when some of the next Sanford threes matter more, like to give you a lead or to counter something that Vandy or McNeese State does. Like Saturday could be special.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder if they're going to end up in a late tip time because of it. Like they could have, if it's Vandy, and right now Vandy's heading to halftime up 38-35 over McNeese. If it's Vandy, Nebraska, you get a 4-5 matchup. Those teams could theoretically shoot a ton of threes in that game. It could be a fun game. It could be a late start on Saturday. So I'm really interested what the window looks like for the Saturday games.
Yeah.
Because now you got High Point. You're going to get High Point and Arkansas, I think, is I don't know who they play, who the 13 is, but Arkansas is the 4. Maybe Duke loses to Siena and you don't have Duke in your window anymore.
It's always curious to see what they do because the Saturday session begins. It's like one game all by itself, another game all by itself, and then a third game starts, and then that's finally when you start having the mixing.
I don't think they'll be in a singular window.
You don't think
I think
they'll
be
kind
of put in, but who knows? I mean, Nebraska's a story.
Yeah.
People were excited to talk about it before it happened. They're certainly excited to talk about it now.
About that.
The CBS coverage of Nebraska, again, they have an all-access crew that's just following Nebraska around. That's going to be
Maybe
awesome.
Maybe they will be then the early game, one of the early games on Saturday. What were you going to say?
Well, first of all, what does the public want in terms of the game time? I mean,
Prime time.
A night. I'd rather maximize
the time here.
Yeah.
The time.
You got early. Now I want late.
Yeah.
I'd rather not have the first game of the day on Saturday.
So do you want to have the second game in the building? Like you want us to arrive as another game is finishing up?
Definitely.
Kind of fun. Yeah. You watch a little of another game.
Yeah. So
that's what I was hoping for with Vanderbilt McNeese, but now that Nebraska won, it's like, well, this is way better because now I'm here enjoying the weather, talking with you guys there. This is great.
It would be cool. Like a 6 o'clock tip. We make our way over here at 8:30 or 9, and we're doing another post game show and celebrating.
Speaking of that, real quick on the post game show, I have opened up the celebration hotline.
Okay, yeah. What's the phone number?
Give the phone number. So this is, if you didn't hear our other podcast, which now it has more legs, I think. We asked people what it would mean if Nebraska won this game today, and we had people call, and I have just a phone line that I got, and it just goes straight to voicemail. Actually, I'm gonna have to change the message, but it says 402. It's 402-819-8030. Call us and give us your celebratory message. Talk to us.
Yeah, we'll be back on sometime later tonight. Don't have an exact time. We got to get back to the house. Jack's got to do his radio show, but we'll be back on at some point after dark later tonight. So stay tuned for Star Wars House.
A little more lively. A little less weepy and a little more
creepy.
Time to heat up the tub.
Hey, that's a good question. Did you cry? Did you guys? Did you shed some?
Effing jacked right now.
Yeah.
And it just it hit me in a way that I was unprepared for. The other really cool thing, and I don't know if you guys saw this or not, there's 2:13 left to go in the game. There's a timeout. Barricade comes out. Someone else comes out. Barricade hops the section, or hops the bench to go celebrate with his family, and then other like Sanford joins them, and then there's other guys, and so there's still the game is going on, and the Nebraska starters are like celebrating with their families.
They're not even on the
It
bench.
was so awesome. I cannot wait to see like closer video of this because it was just so cool. Which is really, really cool.
Afterwards, when they all gathered around it.
Yeah, that's what I want to see too. That was, and it was interesting, like, because you could see it a little bit on the big screen, and I could tell his face. It was still like, yeah, I know, but we got another game coming up in 2 days. And meanwhile, you could tell the players were just so freaking happy.
I was so surprised. These guys have been so stoic.
Yeah.
Don't storm the
But
court.
if you're gonna do it, I mean, you go do it here, and then it's kind of like in baseball. You win your divisional round, you celebrate on the mound, and then you still got the league championship and everything else. So I think they'll turn around with it fine. But those were the two moments where I was like, oh wow, that hit me in a way that I was unprepared for.
Guys,
and because of the difference in the game, they were able to give curtain calls.
Yeah, that was cool.
I was hoping that they would do that. I mean, at the end, when you're realizing, oh my gosh, they're up by this many points, we're about to see them empty the bench, and sure enough, they did. And then it was cool to watch the guys who went to the bench reacting to their teammates shooting and hoping to make deep threes.
Yeah,
and green light for everyone.
It was a cool tribute for all 5 of them to miss.
Yeah. I thought that was very neat. They celebrated Bricktown by building a literal Bricktown around the hoop.
Leo Curtis's time to shine.
How about, I don't remember who it was, but maybe it was Hoiberg or Frager, but they bricked a 3, and I said to him, like, wow, that was a brick. And then Troy goes back down the floor, and they brick it even worse. And it's like, yikes, they're just trading bricks right now in this game.
Well, I think Troy was a little talkative at the beginning. I think in a way that Nebraska
they were so gassed.
Like,
they had no legs at the end of that game.
At the beginning, number one was getting. I mean, he was talking to Frager, and I could tell, like, Frager. You can kind of tell just Frager. You kind of expect to fire back with him, and Frager on that dunk kind of looked back to see who was behind him. He looked back.
You know what that reminded me of? When he got the ball and he's past half court, it's like at a football game when the quarterback drops back and throws it deep and everybody realizes, oh my gosh, this is going to be a touchdown. Like, he caught that ball and everyone realized he's going to slam this home, and he added a little sauce to it too.
I'm not going to lie. I thought about Jack when that happened. I'm not Frager's dad.
I did too. That was my first thought to look over, because as soon as he dunked it, I was like, Jack talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
I look over, Jack's doing this. Johnny is jumping 40 feet in the air. It was a House of Pain video.
It was so slow developing. Like, I had
jump
a
around?
chance. No, yeah, jump around. And by the way, Wisconsin.
I'll take one.
But I was scanning the floor.
Yeah.
I was scanning the floor to see if there was anybody who was.
Course. Banquet.
This is hard. Ordering up your. Thank you. Yeah, that's great. Which like whatever. Yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you.
What were you saying, Jack?
Shout out Scotts Bluff.
Shout out Scotts Bluff. Now have the turntable.
Why are you just like hugging and holding?
I don't know. I want someone to hold me.
Yeah, thank you, Schaefer. Thank you very much, Schaefer.
When we get home.
Thank you, Schaefer.
You said it. Never mind.
You know what? This is a great moment to remind you that this is the ID Club Roadshow, Dancing with the Skurs. Turn out everybody's microphones. Dancing with the Skurs, brought to you by our great friends at Husker Power Products. More information can be found at huskerpowerproducts.com. Also, this broadcast is in association with 1620 The Zone. We are here on both the Zone and the ID Club YouTube channel. If you've never seen this before, this is the I-80 Club. Jack and I founded it almost 4 years ago now. Who knew that we would be doing a road trip on YouTube, simulcast on my day job, covering Nebraska's first ever tournament win.
With a sign like that.
And Mike Schaefer's now our coworker. My coworker, I guess.
We're not.
And we're not. You're the enemy now.
Thanks for letting the competition on.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Look at us. It's the Paul Rudd at the spicy.
I'm surprised we just don't cut his mic, you know? I mean,
I don't know that mine has.
we want to be promoting him?
Yeah. I'm worried about Jack's voice.
Sometimes I've been wondering.
He said earlier, he wasn't even making that much noise. And now, like, his voice is toast.
I know, it's weird. But, like, ask
Well, that's because he was yelling about this beautiful sign
You can
here.
ask my son. I was numb. Here's what happened, I think. I did not
Think
expect
that they would win by more
I
than
did
8.
not expect a blowout.
Yeah.
So, like, I had saved up all of this like tension and all of this stuff, and it was like I went through the emotional journey in that second half, like just the gravity of the moment. By the time the game ended, so I didn't even cheer. I just felt sort of I mean, like quiet. I felt like I couldn't react, and it wasn't that I wasn't happy. I don't know. It was weird. I sent you a weird tweet about like a marathon because like at the end when you run a huge long distance, your brain works differently.
It does. It very much does. The emotions of it. Every race I run is different, and whatever you imagined today to be, I bet it was different than what you thought.
When you think about a big race like that, you probably think you are just going to go speed, just elated at the end.
Yeah.
And like your whole brain and your everything isn't functioning like it normally does. That's almost how I felt, and it wasn't bad, but it was just like my body was.
It was different,
preparing itself for for whatever was coming. But I thought it was going to be emotional when the game ended, and I wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
because you're ready for the next one.
There's another game to be played.
By that, that's what I was thinking.
Because it had gotten so out of hand. How's about this? Obviously, crowd amazing during the game. Pre-game, the crowd was already bonkers.
Yeah.
Like when we walked in there, and you could not hear their starting lineup in a way that doesn't even happen.
I took video of it.
I
cannot wait to go back and watch
that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. But yeah, before the game, you have that going on. It is so loud. The public address announcer is trying to say stuff leading up to the national anthem. You could not hear whatever he was trying to say. It was so bonkers loud.
Yeah, I said it before.
And then Rick Mast won the tip.
And then it got even louder. I said it earlier today that if they won, that the way in which this crowd was talked about is going to be put in a pedestal with some of the famed football crowds and maybe the early College World Series crowds, And I say that it for me, what I was expecting, it surpassed it. What I was expecting today, the crowd surpassed it.
I would love to. None of us were in Memphis, so I would love to have someone give me an independent assessment. But for me today, thank you
so much.
For me today, this was just an incredible crowd. It was louder in here than sometimes you'll get in Pinnacle Bank Arena in big moments.
I think it was
the sort of. And then you mentioned it at the pregame. I got my phone out and I got to record this. This is I can't even remember if it was Husker Power or Go Big Red, but it was so loud. You have no idea which player is being announced or what their name is because it's just drowning all of it out.
And then how about
Truly
that cheer?
Great.
The cheer when you got to Sam Hoiberg. Not that the cheers weren't loud for everybody.
Yeah.
When you got to Sam, and then when you got to Fred.
Yeah. Fred got the loudest ovation today, and I wasn't expecting that for some reason.
Well, here's why they put the wrong picture of the coach up. Yeah, they put the Troy coach up.
No, because they were alternating. They went through all the players.
They put his picture up twice. Then they also put his up after.
Oh, really?
So I think it was the wrong coach, and then they mispronounced Berke's name.
Yeah, I did hear that. I was like, "What? How did he say that?"
There wasn't a.
That's someone who's made a living of mispronouncing names and words. I was like, "That's a bad one."
Hey, going back to Fred, let's talk about him for a moment. He does it. He is the guy.
He did it.
I guess so. Maybe this is why they got him.
Maybe this is why he's extended until 2032.
In all seriousness, when they hired him in spring of 2019, and I don't bring this up, Jack, to make fun of you, but the emotions of the moment that I know you had and other fans had too at the fire against Tim Miles.
It was mostly Jack.
But the promise of hiring Fred was always was today. It was not year 1 or 2 or 3. Certainly it was, he eventually can be the guy that gets it done. And it took longer than I think any of us imagined it would. And yet by the time that they arrived to today, I don't think that there was anybody who was more ready for the moment than he was. It's like when you watch a manager of one of the baseball franchises that went so long without winning, and how it's maybe they only could have won with that guy as their manager. Almost wonder if Nebraska, they literally could have only done it with him because he's the only one who's done it. But I think he was so important to this whole era leading to today.
I think we saw Fred coaching in short time today, too. The coaching, with these short turnarounds, is going to be, and I feel good with
that. Well, one, I think Nebraska's a tough team to play in a 24-hour turnaround. But 2, I just think he's a great coach. When it was coming up last year that some people wanted to move off of him because of the slide they had at the end of the year, in my head, I don't think you're going to do better than Fred Hoiberg is Nebraska's head coach for a long time. He still wants to do it. Obviously signed the extension, and he's committed to being here for a long time. They're sustainably set up to be a successful program moving forward. It is a people are cheering for my commentary.
They're like, give it up for Schaefer.
That was the replay of the Frager dunk, by the way.
That's awesome.
Oh, Husker Hoops Central
Central's on CBS. Yeah. Kenobi's on Kenobi on TV. Nice.
But I just think that Fred is a really special coach for Nebraska to have, and I was never interested in moving off of him. I had always felt like when he got it rolling with that team in 22-23, felt really good. Obviously, they went to the tournament the next year. Last year was a bit of a disappointment. I just think they're set. Like, I would be shocked if Nebraska's not in the same spot a year from now. And there's a world where they're even better than what they did this year, which is, we haven't mentioned it, they set the school record for wins today.
27.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So,
most wins in program history.
It's already the greatest season of all time because they've just accomplished what they never have. Now they have the most wins they've ever had. I fully expect them to go into Saturday and win, and we're talking about a Sweet 16 team. Who knows where this ends? And they could be even better a year from now.
I need to ask you two, because I already showed this to Josh earlier. You guys obviously haven't read my post-game quick recap.
First thing I did.
Yeah, he was reading while I walked over here.
And then I got right into that as soon as I could.
Not since Homer has a destruction of Troy been so historical.
There we go.
Historic.
Oh,
sorry. I think that's the
proper nomenclature. This is the ID Club Roadshow.
Well done.
Dancing with the Stars, brought to you by Husker Power Products. Also, we want to thank our community partners once again. Thank God Jack can't reach the sign. Eye Surgical Associates, Fleet Feet Lincoln, 5-Star Bath Solutions, Lincoln Symphony Orchestra, Look Architectural Coatings, PBA, Sandstone Wealth Management, The Still, Sutton, Linder, and Sutton. Visit Lincoln and 1620 The Zone. By the way, speaking of Sandstone Wealth Management, so I got a message during the game from Tyler. Shout out to Tyler from Sandstone.
What's up, Tyler?
And he is not here, which blew me away. He is not here. He had something come up, and he said watching it, the emotions that he was dealing with, because he thought he would always be here for a moment like this. He has season tickets. He's been going to Nebraska games. You've gone to a game with Tyler. I've gone to a game with Tyler. He has great seats pretty close to the Nebraska bench. He wasn't there, and so, of course, the first question that I said was, yeah, so we'll see you Saturday, right? But he has some other thing planned for Saturday. I think he's going to try to come. Let's hope that we see Tyler.
Let's get him here.
Let's hope that we see a lot of people.
Good seats and have us sit with him, and I'll sell the rest of my seats.
And Tyler, maybe you want to buy tickets to session 2 tonight.
If you want to,
for
Tyler,
if you're interested.
Get on the private jet. You know what? Flash sale. I'm going to do it right now for people watching.
Yeah.
And anyone who logs on, we're dropping it from $199,
$197
to $99.
Wow. To 99 cents?
Right now. $99.
Oh, my bad. Okay. That's a good deal.
99.
Hey, Todd Peterson has dropped us a super chat.
Todd
Former Husker wide receiver. Todd, remember that catch against Baylor? That thing was so cool.
Todd, we broadcast in your hometown now of Grand Island.
Shout out 97.7.
Do you say that every single time we get something?
I love that catch. He had a great touchdown against Baylor pay-per-view game the same day as the Bush Push.
Hey, Todd, remember the Clemson game?
Oh, man. We're going to do that for Be Kind, and we're going to get Todd on. Todd says they did it. GBR, and thanks for the content, boys. Enjoy those brews. Shout out to you, Todd Peterson. I watched you when I was but a baby boy. Rooting on the Nebraska.
You were really a baby.
I was a teenager.
You were an adult man at that point.
I was getting close to it. I guess I was in college for the Gator Bowl.
Yeah.
What's up, Jack?
Isaac Copeland was up here earlier after you guys left.
Was he really?
I've heard like 80 people. I've seen so many good. Matt Rule was walking out after the game right by me and Mike.
He did come down.
He was the first person who did not stop me for a picture on the way out of the stadium. It was
interesting.
How many photos have you taken with people today?
I bet 20.
Yeah.
Countless.
Yeah.
Countless photos.
Jack, what tattoos are we getting tomorrow?
I forgot about this whole thing.
Caleb really wants to get tattoos.
We're getting the tattoos.
I will let you two handle the tattoos.
What, like you're saying, like you'll let us handle the decision of what tattoos we'll get?
I will let you guys just get twice as many tattoos.
Interesting.
I'm not anti-tattoo, by the way.
You're not Bishop?
I mean, I already have one planned.
Oh yeah, you're going to get the Orange Bowl logo from back in the day.
Why? Because I like it.
They won their first NCAA tournament game. Orange Bowl.
Football Pill Jack. Is there any individual on the team that we haven't talked about yet that you wanted to get to, or did you want to get to something else as we get close to winding down?
What Caleb and I normally do during the show us. If you're looking at the box score,
yeah.
You guys, I just want to.
Oh no, I'm not doing that. I'm not trying to break my Wi-Fi.
Okay, so I'm doing this off the top of my head.
You won't get on the internet.
I'm using my phone for our show right now, Jack.
Jack, second chance points. Nebraska, 13 offensive rebounds into 17 or 19 second chance points. Troy, 3 second chance points on 9 offensive rebounds. Nebraska wins the rebounding battle, dominates second chance points, has more points off of turnovers. Not anything like wild like we thought it was going to be, but they make a bunch of threes. I think Troy shot under 30% in this game.
Geez, they only scored 47 points.
Yes.
Who knew?
Sometimes I am unaware if you actually watched the game of which you were at, or
he doesn't look at the scoreboard. He feels the vibe.
yeah, that makes sense.
The
Like,
vibe
a fun
said it
game.
was over.
Jack, you're not allowed to look at the scoreboard, but you can guess what the score of the game is.
All right,
I think they won by about 12.
6 turnovers
Or 8.
6 turnovers. For
Thank
the
you,
game.
Husker Power products.
Product.
you.
John, thank you guys.
Let's go.
Buy engines from them, tons of them, and tell them, like, walk in and be like, Jack told me to buy an engine.
And if your stuff breaks, they'll service it, or
Yeah,
they'll help you
but
get
it
someone
won't.
to do it.
It's to be like, I want 3 Isuzu engines. Jack said.
Hey, real quick before you get back to the box score, Baymon drops us a $20 super chat. Drink up
you.
on me, boys. Wish I was there with you. Go Big Red. We can buy a nice bottle of bourbon now with all the supers that we have gotten today.
Tonight, dude. I mean, I'm
Gosh,
telling you,
do I need to Uber over to the Star Wars house to have some of this bourbon?
and listen to the celebration line.
Yeah.
Give us a call
Yeah.
on the celebration line.
As Jack looks up the phone number.
I have it remembered.
402
We-
831
819
819.
Daryl Lisey, Steve Taylor, Tremaine Bell, Amon Green. 402 819 8030.
Nice. What do you have for a shave?
We've talked about, most of the critical players. We mentioned Jamarcus Lawrence crossover 3 kind of kicked things off. There was a couple
Smooth
moments in the
today.
second half where he was catching it off of the pass and letting it go.
Yes, we were talking.
In both the 3-pointer, but also he had a great one that was just like a perfect pass right off the elbow.
Yes.
That's the Jamarcus Lawrence I want for the rest of the tournament. I love when he is playing in rhythm like that. Makes Nebraska so much more dangerous.
It was so smooth.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Yes.
The 3 was nice, but then it's actually the 2 was the one that I was,
Yeah, because the 3 was like, okay, like we see him do that.
Yeah.
But to come back immediately, go, here's the space.
Right.
And go.
because they're playing that zone, and basically it's like, all right, there's an opening right here. Who's a guy who can just catch and shoot it?
And
Jamarcus nailed.
J-Law, 0 turnovers.
Yeah.
That's a great stat.
6 total turnovers for the game.
Can we talk about my favorite moment of the entire game?
It
It was
where the ball was lost.
when they get a fast break, and so it was when Price dived on the floor, got it to Jamarcus. They have, I think, like 3-on-1, but he struggles with the dribble a little bit, and then suddenly he passes it to somebody else before they get the trailer, which was Price, and he banged in a 3, and that was late in the first half, right?
Yeah.
It was just like
That
it
was
went-
like his 3rd or 4th 3 at that point.
Yeah, and it was like it went from this is going to be a nice, easy play with Jamarcus Lawrence doing something, and then no, it's not. Oh, it's going to be an easy 3 instead because he's wide open once more.
I thought you were going to talk about the possession where the ball just gets kicked around and randomly it just ends up in Sam Hoiberg's hands in the corner. Do you remember that?
I do.
I think Frager was going up for like a layup. I thought he got hammered.
Yeah,
The ball just trickles off his leg, bounces off of Mass, and then Hoiberg's just standing in the corner, picks it up, circles it back around. I don't know if they finished it or not.
But yes, in the second half, because he went in and I go, oh God, he lost it. Okay, Sam has it.
Hey, what about there was a late possession too, probably under 10 or so left in the game, where it was move, and Frager had it, and it looked like a nice look, but then he gave it to Kale, and then Kale knocked in a 3.
Yeah, Kale's corner
He
3.
threw it down to the corner right in front of us.
Yeah.
There were like 10 favorite moments. I love that too. Because Kale was like pissed he didn't play.
You're saying
He
that.
got 2 fouls.
There's like 7 plays in this game where like, that's my favorite play. That's my favorite moment. No, it's all
And
great.
See, the Hoiberg,
It's the greatest game of Nebraska
I
basketball
could
history.
tell when Hoiberg turned it over that one time, he tried to chase down. He almost got it from behind, and then he hit.
Yes.
He hit the layup on it. I don't know if he touched that ball.
He
must
was
have been able to
close.
get the shot.
Yeah, he was close.
I saw you could see it on his face. He threw that away, and he was like, "Damn it, not again!" And he was like, "I'm going to
fix
make up for
this.
that by fixing it on the defensive end and then the offensive."
This
end.
is one of those games, and this is one of the sneaky, underrated, or maybe favorite parts about being a sports fan. when your team wins and the game was fun, you're like, I can't wait to just rewatch those highlights.
Tonight, baby.
That's why people were cheering watching the highlights.
Jack's going to be like, time to go to bed, and he's going to go into his room, and he's going to pull out his phone,
11:15,
and he's going to be like, 12-minute highlight section.
He's going to do a radio show tomorrow.
And tonight.
Yeah, and Jack, you have a radio show in 90 minutes. We should probably get ready to say goodbye.
No, it's
No?
my job.
Sure, Jack? Okay, you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out.
I'm the co-host tonight. We got Roar doing it from Michigan. Roar is live from East Lansing.
Wow, we're just all over the place. Japs points out on Discord, the cinematic recap for today will be so cool.
Oh,
I
yeah.
brought that up in the tunnel after the game. I said, I need that in 30 minutes.
Hey, Husker.
It is a drug that I never knew that I would get addicted to.
The calls from our show last night. I give you permission right now. I own them. Put the calls from the cinematic from our
what if there's no crowd noise or anything, and it's just the highlights are played with the calls of what
it would be Oscar.
That would actually be pretty cool.
Like if they don't do it,
you get a little bed music laying underneath of it with
seriously,
little drama.
If anybody watches this, go listen to it. You can have it. I'll get them to you if you want it. It would be incredible. If you have to listen to the episode, it'd be great to listen to in the next couple of days too, because now knowing that they won and knowing how happy all these people.
There was a fear of doing the pod last night where it was like, what if they lose? And this like really cathartic emotional thing is going to go to the dustbin of history. And instead, I think it is a great listen, even now knowing that they have done the thing. The through line of that ended up being the story of fathers and sons and fathers and daughters and mothers and sons and mothers and daughters. Like the whole time, basically all the calls, Shafe, were Gen Zers or people talking about their dad.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
I couldn't believe how many Gen Zers we heard from.
Young people.
The 2014 team really is it's like patient zero in a way for a lot of Huskers.
There's a 16-year stretch where there's nothing.
And then that's the one.
And so if you come in, and that's where I think, a lot of Creighton fans were born in that stretch because they went to the tournament, 8 times or whatever in that run. And so you have that 16-year stretch. Taran Petaway is probably a lot of people's favorite player. No Sit Sunday obviously lives on in infamy for those that were there and for those that experienced it.
I think there is a generation about my son's age that got into it in the Sapper era because they have parents about my age.
Yeah.
Because we grew up with it. And we had some good times. And then when tickets got really cheap, I think that was a part of it too. We bought $99.
Well, the building. Pinnacle Bank Arena is a great place to go watch a game.
Yes, they started in Devaney, and then Pinnacle Bank Arena happened, and they liked it. And then 2014 happened.
Yeah.
2014 is an underrated, important year, I think, in this program's history. I think it looked a generation.
Is there also this element? What have they had to be excited about football-wise? Basketball's made 3 tournament runs since 2014 on in their lifetime. And so there's a generation of people where Nebraska basketball is their favorite thing because football lets them down every time.
Well, I said this to Jack last night, Shape. Like, for all of the bad that Nebraska basketball gave over their history, and especially last decade, they have ranked wins. They got pelts on the wall.
Yeah.
Like they beat a #1 team a couple of years ago. They that same season they had the crazy.
They beat multiple ranked teams last year.
Exactly. They beat multiple ranked teams this year. Like every year, even in the dire early Fred Hoiberg years, maybe not in the first or second, but I know that they picked up some ranked wins along the way. And that is like one of the underrated parts in that there is always going to be joy with this team. And now it finally reaches this level, that it has today. They're able to get this kind of joy.
Okay. We have a segment that we have to do, but we should bring on.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The originators of the segment.
I'm gonna hop out for this.
Let's go. All right, there you go. But you can be on it. This is Kellen Sutton, and I don't know if the camera can see him. Here we go. And we're just gonna hold this like this here.
I'm here.
These are the guys from the Nebrasketball pod. These are the OG Nebraska podcasters I was listening to back in the day before I was doing any Nebrasketball podcasting. So, real quick, guys, how are you feeling today?
Unbelievable. I mean, the most cathartic. We finally effing did it of all time, and just like I got to thank God watch the game with Kellen Schmidt, the guy that I've been doing this with since I was a young man, and I got to watch it with him, next to him, hug him, be there, and do it with. Not just with him, but with like the most insane 20,000 rabid fans around me. and get to go nuts and do the cathartic hug. We effing did it thing. Like, we got to have the thing, the moment. And it was like
you imagined it? Was it as good as you hoped?
It was better.
You got to pull out Prager. You got to pull out Sammy. You got to pull out Burke. You got to pull out Price. And the place went nuts. And it's like, this is what it's all about. Like 0-8, 0 whatever, doesn't matter. We're here. We finally did it. We finally did it, dude. It feels so good.
Yeah, I mean, it just the reason why we're like, we got to go hug Jack. You want to find people that, I don't know, it's you can't recreate this. Well, who knows? You could go win a national championship someday, and it will never be this today. And it was, I mean, we were in Memphis, and this was 100 times Memphis.
Mr. Mike was asking, what was it like, the atmosphere, even at the beginning of the game compared to today?
It was so fun in Memphis, but like today was a rabid.
It was different.
Base that needed it.
At the beginning,
it was like we had to have it. There was a fan base there that was like, it doesn't matter what kind of scratching and clawing we have to do, we're gonna do it today, and we did it.
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, at the beginning, before they went into the locker room, the team was together, and the fact that we were just talking about this, Johnny. The team seemed like they were not shying away from the fact that, like, they're pumping up the crowd.
Yeah, they were
They were getting him involved all the time.
Yes.
For a team that's been so stoic.
Yeah, and I kind of thought after the game they might kind of, hey, are we satisfied? No, no. Like, they knew what that meant from the get-go, and that was the moment. We had literally not been to our seats yet, and they circled up, and I heard that and was like, this is – I couldn't compare it.
It was fun to see the bench mob being all about it. It was fun to see all those guys that weren't in there. It's like, knowing what it meant to everybody around, knowing what the history that was on our shoulders, and like stepping up and still doing it. Like, you can recognize that moment, you can feel that pressure, and they get the best of you. But they recognized that pressure, they saw it and said,
They embraced it.
Like, we're gonna do it.
They embraced it.
Yes.
And
I stepped up and said, I don't care how much space you give me, go on and made it.
I love to talk about the reaction, and we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but after the game, the team and Fred, like, you could tell, and we talked about him earlier, he was the guy that was hired to do this, right? Like, they hired him to win this game, and you could tell in that moment the team knew that too, and the way in which they appreciate it. I'm getting to see it on your faces right now, what this means to you.
Yeah.
He was so right after the game, the first person, and I've said this for a long time. I said, for a long time, I've wanted this win, period. But I've wanted this win at different times for different people and what it means and the history behind it. And I found myself at different times saying, I want this win for Kent more than I want it for myself.
Yeah.
Because I know what it means. And like, is he going to retire? Is the university going to say, that's enough? Like, and I've wanted it for him, and he's been a constant. This sounds weird to say, but he's been a constant in my life since I was a young boy.
I was going to say, for basically your whole life.
Yeah.
And so going after him, seeing him after the game, and just giving him a big hug, and he was so shocked. He said, his words were, I'm in such shock right now. I don't know what to say. I just said, this means a lot to me, but I know what it means to you. I know what it means to everybody that's been listening to you for so long. A big hug, and I just said, I always pictured when this happens, there's been a bunch of people I want to hug, and you were one of them. And he was excited about that.
Yeah.
Isn't it cool to be around people who went through the stuff, right? And I know that's how you two have bonded and created the thing that you have. Like, right away, I ran into the No Block, No Rock guys. They get it.
Yep.
Like, it's so cool. Even people I don't know, I'm hugging. Like, they'll squeeze me. I bet I hugged 10 people in the arena. And they knew they some of them knew me, some of them didn't. But I could feel, guys, to meet you.
Thank you. Thanks for the beer, too.
I could feel like they were in the Vanny Center. They walked through those cold nights from Ag Hall.
We talked a lot about knowing this would be like maybe some more casual fans down here. Like, how are you going to differentiate? Like, who does this mean? And I think that's legitimately why we're like, I have to give Jack a hug, because it just, like you said, with Fred's journey, and then everybody has their own successive however long. It just, I don't know. You won't recapture.
I want to read this. So this is a text in a group chat. So if David doesn't like that I'm doing this, I apologize. I don't think he's going to care. But he is someone who he wants Nebraska to do well, but he's not living and dying, right? And he texted after the game immediately, so happy for all my Nebrasketball homies. Enjoy the hell out of this, GBR. Like, that's I am that person that is happier for everybody else. I'm happy for Jack today. I'm happy for you guys today. I'm happy for the diehards who have these stories about the Bob, because I didn't go to my first Nebraska game until college. I don't have this relationship with the program that so many do. And so to see the cathartic nature of it, I think I told the story on our pod that we did last night that I stumbled into this friend group that I met in college, and they are the diehard Nebraska basketball fans. Like, I didn't realize there were those kind of fans, you know? And then my friend Jeff, my friend Corey, those were the guys that I met early in college. And so, I remember when our group chat really started popping off about a decade ago, like, a Tuesday night in February, it's going to be blowing up with texts about a game versus Rutgers. Like, I didn't realize, I thought this was the football group chat, not the basketball one. And so it's for guys like my friends Jeff and Corey and Rob and you guys and Aaron and everybody else that, like, this is the thing. They love football, but there's this, the hipster quality of basketball, right? That everybody knows about.
I knew this band before you guys.
Exactly.
It is seriously that.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, these guys were on the front end. Like, these guys are pioneers in the media. Like, I seriously think that, because you guys I heard you guys talking about it, and look, I'll talk to friends, but there was nobody, the Nebrasketball podcast. I don't know when you guys started. I caught up in about 2017.
15.
And there's still not many Nebrasketball. There are more now. We've got one.
Yep.
But there are more. But to hear you, and I'd say Matt Kenobi, I want to shout out Matt Kenobi too.
Yep.
Who was on CBS.
He got his flowers. He's good.
He helped us get our stuff.
But, like, I think you guys helped me understand. Like, I had some you guys kind of made me understand and embrace whatever we are.
Yeah.
Whatever we are. I thought that was, like, I love that. I love that about you guys, and listening to those days. And I wouldn't give any of that back.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all of it. Like, we don't look back at that stuff not fond of it. The
Bob stuff like that. That's what it was. That was the whole drive down here. It was like, it was clear that we have a very good chance to lose. Our whole mindset is 1-0, like, just go 1-0 today. We're not going to forecast anything. We're not going to make this about anything other than getting the win that's in front of us. And so the whole drive down here, though, it was reliving that stuff. It was, remember those sicko days at the Bob where we're going 2-14 in conference and it is negative 12 degrees outside.
It's like, what are you doing here?
Right. I mean, the amount of times people ask themselves.
It was like, what's your hobby in college? And you talk to a girl and you're telling her what you like to do. And you're like, I like to go to Nebraska basketball games.
Do you know how good those 2 wins were, though?
Yes.
Did they have a team?
Yes.
And then you tell this girl that at our college, and you're like, what? What is wrong with you? And it was just like, I don't know. That's a great question. What is wrong with me? We kept going.
Tonight, you guys need, if you haven't, you need to listen to the podcast we did last night where we took the
Johnny was telling us.
We talked to your son. You guys, it is made for you too, because what we learned is there are tons of us.
Yeah.
You did. There's dozens of us. I seriously did not know there were so many of us, and I kind of did. You guys listen to you guys for the basketball pod, and then doing that last night, I was like, there are so many people who are like living in the shadows. I don't know if they were doing that on purpose. But they're
just, what were you gonna, like, imagine doing content, trying to do this show, but they've just lost their 12 straight games.
Yeah.
And we would just hop on and be like, well, here's why we lost to Ohio State. It's the same reason we lost to every other thing. But there's just something you can't, and obviously now football, we don't even like to say the word in our group chat, but now, like, it's kind of got its own embrace
like
of being bad. Yeah. But, like, it's always been that thing, and you had something knowing. I mean, even talking about you saying that Fred getting embraced, like, thinking about, like, I don't regret now Fred, the losing at the start of his career was insane.
Yeah.
It was
Record his
insane.
first 4 years, if you look at it.
Yeah, remember that stat came out? It was like he would have to win X amount of games in a row just to get to 500.
Just to beat Doc Sadler.
Yeah, exactly. And now I saw Dave Fight posted earlier. It was like
He's within 2 games of 500?
of what it, but it's just been a steady climb.
His
The last few
3.5
years.
have been really good.
But think about how different the last 3.5 to 4 years, not just the results on the court, but the way the roster year over year looks different as opposed to the year over year turnover that you got those first couple of years trying to navigate the transfer portal, bring these guys in, who's going to stick around, and now you go, oh, you have Rink for this many years. JaMarcus, even though he was gone for a year, he multiple years. Sam, multiple years. Braden redshirted, and now he's here. Kale, multiple years. Bearcay, multiple years.
Yeah.
It's almost everyone other than Price is okay, they've all been here.
And it feels like Price has been here for
yes.
It really does.
I don't know why, but
It really does.
Yeah.
But a lot of that, I don't want to pin it on one guy, but what a culture difference having the coach's son be the linchpin in all of that. The guy that almost transfers it, takes the baton running from when he starts off, and the shitstorm that happens with his starts, and he takes it and he literally saves his job his freshman year. I mean, him and Casey saved his job that February 1.
We got a DM that February that somebody said they knew that they were reaching out to coaches.
Wow.
And then Sam takes over. Casey goes on his crazy run. Takes over. The next year, the Memphis thing happens. That's a crazy run. That's fun and exciting. And it doesn't quite get us over the hump. And then last year, the collapse that happens, it's like, man, maybe we really are just this team that doesn't have it in this conference that's impossible. It is a conference that is bigger than us, better than us, well established, and we're just this football school that's trying to be a basketball thing. We don't have it last year. And then we come out this year, and it's like the coach's son is part of the Lincoln, and a kid from Lincoln that was a freshman sit out last year that didn't burn his red shirt is taking us into a team that is we're 20-0. This is a different ball game.
I mean, Jack, you always talked about the orgy of joy. It just, right? Orgy of joy.
I just saw Wisconsin lose, and I was like, this is it.
Yeah, it's more. It's even more.
No,
Oh my
God. I will send a sign. Yeah.
But you guys know that.
There is a different world where we get high pointed to.
Yep.
Seriously.
Yeah, yep, no doubt. Absolutely. Okay, I invite one thing I want to do before you leave.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got to get to it.
We got to
right?
do the thing.
Yeah, we got to do the thing.
And I won't really talk to you guys more tomorrow, but you guys let us adopt one of your old segments as an homage to the old school Nebrasketball pod. It's a Ryan Anderson Memorial Player of the Game. I never did a good job explaining it, so can you explain the Ryan Anderson Memorial?
Because he's not dead.
He's not dead. He actually, so we checked this 5 years ago. He's making music.
Oh.
Ryan Anderson making music.
He came in one time. I was in History of Rock, and he was in there before class started playing the piano.
Okay.
So,
Did you guys see Copeland today?
Yes. Yeah, he was right over there.
Oh.
Johnny's is like Johnny's friend.
By the way, the Ryan Anderson Memorial Player of the Game is brought to you by the Nebraska Half.
Look at that.
Nebrasketball today
How's that?
at nebraskaball.org or nebraskamarathon.org.
In Omaha.
Yeah.
Zarinsky Lake. Beautiful trail, flat trail. Yeah, sign up for the Nebraska Marathon.
Yeah. All right, so do you want to do the thing that you guys always do?
Here's how we do it. Now, it's not, I hope I'm not stepping on your feet, but the way we do it, we all say it at the same time. So we do a count of three.
Oh, my God.
And
Okay.
everyone says the Ryan Anderson Memorial Player of the Game.
Yeah.
He's not dead.
Yeah, he's not dead. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3.
And we'll say the name.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Right.
Sanford. What did he say?
J-Law.
I like that.
He had a take at the beginning of the year. He was like, if we're going to win a tournament game, it's because of J-Law. And he just wants that to be true now.
Interesting.
He did. He had one where the ball fell out of his hands. I was like, oh, God, it's the old
And
J-Law
still
again.
got a 3 out of it.
Yeah. But it was right in front of us. I was like, oh, no, it's back.
I'm also I don't want to be like the flashy, like, oh, everybody's picking the same guy. I gotta be a
Yes.
contrary.
It makes the segment really easy when we do, though.
It is, it is true. Yeah, Price is obviously
Because
I needed that from J-Law today, like in such a way that like his 3-point shot has been off. He's been turning the ball over. He hasn't been himself.
Yep.
And so like seeing him do that today, I needed it. In the same way that I needed Frager to make a couple shots in that second half after many minutes. I needed him to see one go in. But in the same way with J-Law, like I needed him to be that senior leader, was like that dude, like came back, is part of it, and like that felt real for me. With
Cal, Sutton, love you guys.
Thanks for coming over, guys.
Yeah, hey, thank you guys. We really appreciate it. And to anybody listening who listens to your guys' great stuff, anybody who ever listened to us, like, you know what this means today. And I'm just glad we got to see you guys.
Thanks,
got to see Johnny. Thanks, guys.
Wow, that was awesome. This is the ID Club Roadshow, Dancing with the Skurs, brought to you by our great friends at Husker Power Products. For more information, you can go to huskerpowerproducts.com. As we get ready to wind down, we want to give another huge shout-out to our community partners. We'll name them all. Eye Surgical Associates, Fleet Feet Lincoln, 5-Star Pass Solutions, Lincoln, Symphony Orchestra, Look Architectural Coatings, Pinnacle Bank Arena, Sandstone Wealth Management, The Still, Sutton, Linder, and Sutton. Visit Lincoln and 1620 The Zone. And all of our ID Club Road crew members, Lincoln, Corey, Gerren, Mark, Reese, Erik, Jordan, Bruce, Lindsay, Joe, and One-Eyed Eddy Sports Bar in Greeley. And again, this broadcast in association with 1620 The Zone on both of the channels.
Pinnacle Bank Arena, once you know they got tickets July 11th. You're going to have Treaty Oak Revival is coming in, so it's Red Dirt Country stuff that Mike Riley used to like when he coached here. Remember when I made him a playlist? I made him a playlist. Matt Rule never asked me to make a playlist.
Interesting. So, Matt Rule.
Sandstone Wealth Management, by the way, rooted in Nebraska. We talked about Tyler earlier. Built to protect, grow your wealth. Sandstone.
Tyler keeps my money in tow. He knows what's going on. Yes. I trust Tyler literally with my funds.
And Sutton Linder, you can get a free screening, suttonlinder.com for LASIK if you're tired of not being able to see. Someday I'm going to get Sutton Linder Sutton.
Yeah, I got rid of my glasses a few years ago. Also, we'll give another shout out to our friends at Look Architectural Coatings. You can transform any space with breathtaking decorative solutions. Local experts in architectural materials in Omaha and Lincoln, 402-933-4545. They hooked us up with our great banner. Thank you to Look Architectural Coatings.
We got a new screw here. We got a new screw here from Oklahoma.
We got a what?
A new screw.
Oh, yeah, they're going to do a stand-up from here.
All right, so here's what we got going on. We're going to be back at some point later tonight. Jack's got to do a radio show in about an hour, so we're going to make sure that he gets his radio show off the ground. We will be back for an After Dark from the Star Wars house. That will just be on the I-80 Club YouTube channel. If you want to join us later tonight, you can do so. We will have the link. Just stay tuned. Turn on the notification so you don't miss it whenever we start. Probably after 8:30, 9 o'clock. We're going to have the games on at the house. We're going to be watching basketball.
We
got to get our bourbon.
From Oklahoma. I don't want to this Jack Daniels crap.
No.
Okie,
I will help us find the bourbon. I know. People will say, Josh, you know bourbon. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate
Oklahoma,
you.
this region's bourbon.
Nice. So we'll be doing that. Again, just stay tuned for the ID Club YouTube channel. Tomorrow, we'll be back with another coffee show. Unemployed, I believe, will be tomorrow. We'll have another After Dark tomorrow night. And then on Saturday, scheduled TBD, of course. But we're going to have a pregame show. We're going to have a postgame show. Hopefully, we'll have an Unemployed. Again, it just depends on the time of the game. But we will have you covered here on the ID Club YouTube channel and some of those shows over on the Zone YouTube channel.
Let me throw out that phone number one more time that I still did not memorize.
Incredible.
402
819
8030.
Yeah.
I'm going to memorize it.
819-8030.
And let me tell you this too, and we'll do those regular shows. But I would like, if possible, because I like talking to those guys. I'm hoping tomorrow, whether it's in our shows, I would like to do some interviews. So if people have someone they would like to see come up here to the ceiling of Social Capital, the roof of Social Capital, the roof is the ceiling.
Ceiling is the roof.
Whatever. Hey, I'm going to text Ken. I don't know if he'll, but I'm talking Big. Who would you like to hear from who's down here? And I know especially you people who couldn't make it because I was there with you in Memphis. We were all there with you in Memphis. So I'm hoping to get some of the folks who are in town. I think it'll be a great place up here tomorrow. Watch some games, bring some folks in and do some interviews. So
hit us up.
I'm gonna try and hit the people you'd expect. But if you have somebody an idea, tag them, tag me. We'll get them in and hopefully we'll talk to them.
Perfect. So we hope to see everybody. We appreciate everyone joining us again. If this is the first time you've ever watched the ID Club, we appreciate you watching us. Appreciate 1620 The Zone allowing us one of our community. Shout out Keely. Shout out to all of our community partners. Shout out to everyone that stopped by that watched the show today. We are going to say goodbye. For Mike Schaefer, who disappeared a little bit ago, for Caleb Henry, for Jack Mitchell, I'm Josh Peterson. We'll be back later tonight for another After Dark show. Enjoy the day. Jack, Nebraska has won an NCAA tournament game.
Finally happened.
It happened, baby.
It still hasn't said it.
We'll talk to you soon, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.